Hello, welcome back to our third part of this three-part journey that you have taken with us here. This is Jonathan from HEXplorers. We are playing the Sands of Shurax, and we have three heroes completely loaded up in this game. We've got aspects in play, we've got traits in play, we have a couple of exclusive races from the expansion in play. Each of our heroes has gone through a huge transformation in this game. From the very start of the game, we have managed to pull in just gigantic amounts of power. It's been awesome kind of seeing this unfold. To give you kind of a recap, we started in the Wastes and came to find Philo the Giant, one of the legendary characters in the game, who joined us, and we started to do some missions in the desert. We were working for the folks in Drea at the time, and we ended up taking a caravan from the desert, and we lost our caravan master in a encounter with, I believe it was tar jellies. And unfortunately, we're stranded in the desert. We found ourselves on the far side of the world, near the lava pits outside of the city-state of Tari. And Tari is this nasty place that is just run by a dictator who is named Noko, Emperor Noko. We stayed clear of that area, and we eventually used our merchant to place down all 5 of the shops that he was able to create. And that has been giving us a huge number of gold on our journey. We ended up finding the famed tinkerer Thumble York and put his cannons down on the board. And then eventually we had gone to the city-state of Drea, and we ended up working for the Nemzanese. That is Arbiter Kasu. He's kind of this shifty character in the city-state that basically values wealth above everything else. So we worked for him, gathering secrets against the Tarians, and we lingered a little bit too long there, and the Ravager actually destroyed that city-state while we were there. After we had returned to Nemzinyet and we turned in all of the secrets that we had uncovered about the Dreans, we decided to make our way back into the desert to find the fabled Black Pyramid. We ended up entering the pyramid and came face to face with another legendary character, Astenal, the Lost Arbiter. He's the leader of a gigantic army, and he will gain power as we face monstrous humanoid or humanoid encounters. Now, we spent some time in the pyramid. We've gotten about 1/4 of the way through, and so we are going to kind of pick up where we left off here. Now, in the last video, I asked you guys how we should win this game, and there were a number of different options kind of put forth, and I think I will kind of show you what I intend to do, but I'm going to let that play out without actually telling you right here and now what we've decided on. So without further ado, let's get started. All right, hopping right in. Our merchant, the Pridekin, he has the Thurgist trait. Now this trait allows him to create items, actually a potion, a tonic, an elixir, or a booster. This is a trait that comes in the Sands of Shurax expansion box, and it allows you to create one per turn. Now I think what I'm going to do is I am going to take a look. We have a Sphinx Blood booster. This is a booster that's available in the city-state of Nemzinyet. Now what this does, this thick syrup amplifies the effect radiation has on your body. Draw 3 mutation cards and choose one to replace a mutation you possess. discard the rest. If you do not have a mutation to replace, you may gain one of the mutation cards instead. So I think what we're going to do is we do not have any nature cards in play, and there's only 4 slots on the board here. This Atmokinesis mutation that our Dervish has isn't really providing much help. Sure, if we get a second mastery power-up, she will get a +1 because this particular mutation will give her a bonus to that. But I think what we're going to do is we're going to spend the gold and grab one of those boosters, and we're going to use that to see what we can replace on the Dervish. So we're going to, first of all, we'll reduce our gold by 4 to gain that. And this says by paying its value in gold at rank, so that's fine. So we've paid the gold. So that means we get to draw 3 mutation cards. We have Acid Spit, Psychometry, and Gift of the Phoenix. Oh my gosh, Gift of the Phoenix sounds pretty good. All right, so let's take a look at Acid Spit. Your saliva corrodes anything it touches. When making a defend action, you may deal 2 piercing corrosive health damage or 1 outlast to your opponent. Each copy you possess doubles the health damage and increases the outlast. Now she's got already, this is replacing the mutation she has. So she's already got a basically an evolution card on this Atmokinesis. So we can get rid of the Atmokinesis, the evolution stays. So this would be a reducing outlast by 2. And that could come in handy in the final battle. Let's see what Psychometry does. You can see impressions of an object's history with merely a touch. Gain an additional -1 bonus to skill test when camping. Each copy you possess gives you... Yeah, I don't think I'm going to need this one just because we're not really going to be camping anytime soon. So let's get rid of Psychometry. Gift of the Phoenix. Your body consumes itself in a brief and fierce flame upon death. Once per game turn, you immediately revive upon death with 1 health and 1 energy remaining. Each copy you possess doubles the amount of vitals you revive back to. So I think we should take Gift of the Phoenix here. It's going to give us a modifier to our health. And actually this replaces the mutation we have, so we're not actually going to lose more energy from this. This is a -3 energy card, and our Atmokinesis is also a -3 energy. So that's awesome. So we're going to take this Atmokinesis, and our Dervish now has Gift of the Phoenix. She is going to basically be consumed by fire if she dies. And she will come back to life with 2 health and 2 energy remaining. All right, so with that done, we ended our last game turn, or our last event, I should say, in the Black Pyramid. We destroyed Idriel, the swarm boss. Our Dervish, Krita, has Idriel's Bone Torque, which allows her to also turn into a swarm of locusts. Now, this particular event in the pyramid did not spur a change in the villain phase. So it did not trigger a villain phase turn. So that means we get to continue on. So let's take a look. The next location in the Black Pyramid is the Treasure Vault. So we've just defeated Idriel. We are going to roll a d6 to see what kind of treasure we might be able to find here. And we roll a 2. You found a small chest. Roll for a random item. Now we are in the event phase. We haven't used our weighted dice, and we have 2 each for each person. So Hamanu is going to re-roll. Whoa, holy crap. So we get a 4. You've found the treasure vault. At least 1 hero must enter here as you do. Then roll for a random item, and we get the treasure vault reward. Now, I think we can push our luck here. We have tons of weighted dice, so I'm going to do this again one more time for Hamanu, and we get a 5. That's even better. Play as if the result was a 4. Those who suffer 3 energy drain. One hero gains a random treasure instead of a random item. I think we'll take it. So we're going to gain a random treasure as well as a random item. And we're getting the 6 gold and 4 platinum for being in the treasure chamber of this particular pyramid. All right, one other thing to note. I have not been utilizing our Artificer in the most efficient way. Each game turn, the Artificer can create gear upgrades for the heroes. So I'm going to start doing that. We have plenty of gold, and it's just basically going to cost our Artificer a little bit of gold each turn. So Balakath has specialty in, let's see, 5 of the 9 stats. He can create gear upgrades for health. He can create gear upgrades for attack, which all of our heroes are now full. He can create gear upgrades for both masteries, as well as gear upgrades for survival. So I think what I'm going to do is let's go ahead and create a gear upgrade for, let's make it health, just to get a head start on the end combat here. So I'm going to create a level 1 upgrade for our Artificer. And that is going to cost 2 energy drain as well as the gold. All right, so then we get 4 platinum. We are up to 64 platinum. And then we get to roll for some items. We get a random item. And that is a iron scale potion. So let's use that. Put it on the Artificer, and then we get a random treasure, and that is a 3, the Genie Lamp. Now we get to re-roll because we already have the Genie Lamp. The 2, the Lunar Blade. We also have the Lunar Blade. Let's re-roll again. Until we get choose 1 treasure. Oh, you know what? I've been rolling a d6. I have to roll a d10. So let's roll for that treasure. We're going to roll a d10. And we get a 7. The Obsidian Keystone. Let's see what that does. Okay, the Obsidian Keystone. You've unearthed a strange obsidian artifact that vaguely resembles a blocky square key. Hieroglyphs are etched across its surface, and an unearthly indigo light shines from within. This particular language was once spoken long ago, but has since been lost to all but the historians in Ferrora. If the Black Pyramid is not in play, search for and place it. During the event phase, any hero may spend 4 energy to teleport the group into or out of the Black Pyramid. While inside the Black Pyramid, each hero gains 1 health regen. That's pretty awesome. So we have the Obsidian Keystone. I'll place that right here. The Takreen will carry it. All right, so we are done now with the treasure vault, and if you'll notice, there's a couple things on our placard to note. There's a little yellow circle, and it's gonna basically it has that plus sign in it. That indicates that our game difficulty has automatically increased. When you're in the Black Pyramid, it will automatically increase. So we are up to easy now. And that means that everyone we fight, every opponent we fight will gain a mutation, and they're doing a little bit extra damage. We also get 1 Ravager Crystal after every battle. All right, so with that done, we are going to have the Ravager go back underground during the villain phase. And next is the next chamber. We're going to go into the Crystal Formation Chamber. Great towers of crystal have formed inside the Black Pyramid. Treat these locations as if they were a crystal tower in the wastes. So we are going to become irradiated and gain another mutation. And we will also gain some Ravager crystals. So first of all, the irradiation condition kicks in. You're taking 5 damage minus your food rating, which is 5, so 0 damage, 0 damage, 2 damage. Our Artificer will be taking 2 damage. Now it is energy drain. Her other world, or the elemental aspect, is going to increase that to another 2. She's going to take 4 energy drain total. Go down to 13 energy. And now we're going to gain some Ravager crystals. We get to roll a d4. That's a hex, so that's 4. And we also are carrying what are they called? The extraction tools. And that is going to allow us to gain 1 extra. So now we have 10 Ravager crystals at our disposal. And the next thing that happens is we are going to gain some mutations. So let's take a look. First mutation is, did I put that on top? I missed. Nope, I didn't. Atmokinesis. So our Pridekin has gained Atmokinesis. This is the one we just replaced on our other hero here. So I'm going to take -2 energy for that mutation. Then we have our Dervish. What does our Dervish get? Evolving mutation. Select another mutation you have and treat it as a copy of this card. If you do not have a mutation, either keep this card and apply it to the next, or draw a power-up card instead. So now we have Gift of the Phoenix, and every time our Tikreen dies in combat, up to once per turn, she will come back with 4 health and 4 energy. That's awesome. All right, and last but not least, what does our Artificer get? He currently is a Null. He has the Wings mutation. So we have Energetic Core. Your body emits an uncontrollable amount of energy. Your attacks cannot be negated. Half the damage you deal with your attack action is piercing. This bonus does not activate if you are using a mastery this round. Each copy you possess reduces the opponent's defend and block values by 2. So Energetic Core, awesome. I just feel like our Artificer is like glowing now with this Energetic Core. This was a -3 energy card, so we go down to 16 rank in energy. And now whenever our Artificer gains a Navigate or a second mastery rank, that will be increased by 1. Now, if you notice, I actually shuffled all of the remaining power-up cards that we had and placed it at the bottom of the remaining cards we had. So we are good to go there. All right, so at the end of that, we're going to roll the pyramid. And if we roll a hex, we have to face the monstrosity. It's a 3, so we get away with not facing the monstrosity. And that means it is going to trigger the villain phase. We're going to roll a d6 and see where that Ravager arrives. He arrives right next to us, right here. And now remember, all of these locations, we can go to those locations and gain more Ravager crystals. We have a pretty good amount right now. We have 10 right now. So the next thing that's going to happen is, let me just mark off our placard here. So that would be the Lost Temple. We find ourselves in a Lost Temple. Let's go ahead, because this is a new game turn, let's go ahead and have the Artificer create another rank increase here. Okay, and then we are going to, I'm going to have him create an enhancifier as well. and that is going to cost 1 gold to do that. Okay. Now, we are in a Lost Temple. I think what we're going to do is we're all going to roll defend stat tests. Okay, so let's see what that does. I will assign in order here. Our dervish will be green, our artificer will be yellow, and our merchant will be blue. Defend stat tests. So our green makes it with a 2. Our yellow misses with a 5. We need to get Balaketh's defend up a little bit, and we miss Hamanu's with a 10. So only one of us makes the defend stat test. That was kind of a dismal round for us. Roll the pyramid of both sand dice, gain the result in food, or locate gear upgrades worth the same amount. So we're going to 4. So that's 8 plus 3 is 11 gold. We get 11 gold worth of gear upgrades. So why don't we increase? We have a explore roll coming up here. So why don't we increase? No, let's go with the salvage plating instead. So we have 11 gold worth. That's going to give us 2 upgrades for the artificer, gear upgrades for defend, and that's going to cost a total of 9 gold. And then we're going to use the other 2 to give, let's see, the merchant let's give the artificer a rank in energy. So all that gear has gone to our artificer. All right, so then after that is done, so if you fail, suffer 4 non-lethal health or energy damage. Let's see, we have 2 failures. Let's go. Odds are health and evens are energy. That's both even, so energy damage, and that's 4 non-lethal. So both of these guys have failed. Our artificer only has 4 energy remaining. Our merchant has 10. Okay, so we are finished with the Lost Temple. Now we could continue in the Black Pyramid if we wanted to. We could try for this treacherous hall that contains a secret passage that advances us through a number of guard embalming rooms. If we wanted to, we could do that, but let's see, we would get a few. It looks like another boss fight is coming up. I think we're going to leave the pyramid. We have found the obsidian keystone. So during the event phase, any hero may spend 4 energy to teleport the group into or out of the Black Pyramid. So I think what we're going to do is we'll do that. We're going to take ourselves out of the Black Pyramid. I'll put this placard off to the side here. And we'll have the dervish use the item. And that allows us to teleport into or out of the Black Pyramid. So we basically arrive in this same spot. We are now outside of the pyramid, and the end of the event phase has come, meaning the Ravager is going to dive back underground, and it is once again the movement phase. Okay, so we have extraction tools, and check it out. This hex on the board here, it contains a ton of ancient crystal deposits. So I think what we're going to do, we have the wings ability on our artificer. This is a mutation that we've gained. So we're going to make use of that and gain a ton of Ravager crystals this turn. So watch it. Watch this. We're going to move 2. 1, 2. That means we're moving cautiously because we have the dust skimmer. So we're only moving 2 this turn. We're going to call it a day, and we're going to roll our skills. Let's see, we have a miss, we have a make it and a make it. We have a hex on HEXplorers. We have a make it and a make it. And we have for the Artificer. Wow, the Artificer is left like numb. He's confused, I think. He rolls terrible. So he is going to have 3 food lost. And we move into the circumstance phase. Now, the circumstance phase, as you know, you'll roll a d6, and let's see what we get. We get a Hex. That is another peril card, my friends. And it's another Cursed Kismet card, Ruination. Each time the Ravager emerges, all of Shurax trembles. Debris rains down from afar. For the remainder of the game, if the group is within 1 hex of the Ravager when it appears, each hero must roll Navigate. Those who fail suffer 1 health damage for each Cursed Kismet card in play. And this is also going to make it a little bit harder for us to destroy the Ravager. So we have 2 curses in play now. Okay. The next thing that happens is we are in the event phase. Now, typically, we wouldn't have an event here, but because this is a ancient crystal deposit, we get 1 ancient crystal. All right, so we gain 1 Ravager crystal. But watch this. Our wings that our Artificer has, each copy you possess allows you to move the group 1 hex during the event phase if you moved cautiously. He has 2 evolutions on this card, which means we can move 3 additional spots. So we're going to go 1, 2, and 3. Okay, so that means we've moved through 3 of those. We get 3 more Ravager crystals, and that will end our game turn. And I'm going to place the hex tokens on that just to show that we have gotten those crystals. Okay, the Ravager is going to appear. We're going to roll a d6, and we roll a 3. He appears all the way over here. Thankfully, we are not within range of his trembling, the emerging ability, but we can feel it all the way over here. He is just ruining the landscape. After he's done with this game turn, after he departs, we're going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 on the board. The 3rd act is going to begin in a little while. Oh, one thing. We forgot to give our merchant a bunch of gold because we did not pay attention to his shops. So in the Black Pyramid, we had 2 days pass, and then we had 2 days. This will be the 2nd. So we have another 50 gold. Guys, he has 201 gold. All right. Next thing I think we're going to do is we have our genie. We haven't really used anything yet there. I think what we're going to do is we're going to move 2, 1, 2, and we've moved through 2 more crystal deposits. So that's going to give us another 2 Ravager crystals just because we've moved through it. And that was considered cautious movement. Let's put our tokens down on the board. Again, we're moving cautiously. We've only moved 2. We will go ahead and have our merchant roll. And he fails survival. So he's going to take, he's going to lose 5 food. We are going to get a little bit extra gold. It's the start of the round for him. He also made the Explorer with a hex, so that's going to give him even more gold. Failed Navigate. That's okay. We move cautiously. Let's see what our Dervish gets here. Hex, Hex, and 5. Now 2 hexes means that we get to get 2 hexes rolled during the skill phase from the same character. Allows you to get rid of one of the items, one of the events on the board here on the circumstance deck. So I think we're going to get rid of vagabonds. Let's get rid of them. Impossible rain. There is that nature effect. So while the nature effect is in play, our merchant has atmokinesis. So ignore all negative and gain a +1 boost to ability ranks while a nature effect is active or in a circumstance slot. So we now have Hamanu with a +1 to all of his abilities because Impossible Rain is on the board. All right. So then we have done that. We get 3 extra gold for our Tikreen. And then we have skills to be rolled for our Knoll friend here. Makes he misses both green and blue, so he's going to consume some food. We're going to have our dervish give him the food that he needs. And he makes his gold, his roll for that. So we're also going to create another gear upgrade. The Artificer is, until the end of the game, I'm just going to continue to do that. So he's going to create another health gear upgrade. He now has 19. And the Artificer has used 4 energy for that. And 4 gold. I think we're going to use a King's Elixir on him. So outside of combat, he's going to heal a little bit here. Let's see what that King's Elixir will do for him. Outside of combat, it heals 10 energy and 10 health. So he's going to go up to 10 energy. Okay, so we've moved, we've rolled skills, we have replaced the circumstance that we wanted to replace. Now it is time for us to have a circumstance roll here. And we roll a 4 this time. And that is the genie. We are now going to face an unbound genie. So this is a spirit. This is the first spirit that we've encountered in the game. And now, if you'll notice, our Artificer has the otherworldly trait. It hasn't gone off at all this game. It hasn't triggered at all. And it will trigger if we defeat a spirit or undead opponent. This is also good for the Dervish. Our Tikreen race is gaining favored opponents after every second battle with the type. So our Dervish has favored opponent with humanoid, magical nature, monstrous humanoids, swarms, hordes, and she's working on constructs and creatures as well. So after this battle with the genie, we will also have spirits that she is working on. Now, we were going to get 5 platinum and a power-up for this card. And because of the difficulty, the game difficulty, we also need to give this genie a mutation. So let's take a look at how that works. All right, mutations. So what we're going to do is we are going to roll a 6-sided die, and we're going to see if the genie has a physical mutation, a metaphysical, or a legendary mutation. It's a hex. This genie has a legendary mutation. That means we're going to also gain an additional power-up. We have to roll a d6 and check to see what the legendary mutation effect is. 5, Undying. So it has energetic, immediately revived at half its initial vitals the first time it dies. So what this means is if our genie has over half energy remaining, he is energetic. We have to basically take his energy down before he will truly die. So let's take a look at what his vitals are going to get kicked up to. The Undying is +4 health per hero. So that's 12 extra health and energy. So that's gonna be 42 energy and 30 health. So keep in mind, we've been playing this game for quite a while. And in fact, we probably could have ended quite a while ago. So this is going to look like a very easy battle. We are going to just probably squash this genie. We're gonna see what happens. So our dervish is going to activate, while your energy is 3 or higher, you may counterattack. Once per game for 3 energy, you may activate the power of the moon. So we're using the lunar blade to activate the power of the moon. The moon light shines down on us and is going to give Krita extra power. Well, your energy is 3 or higher. You may counterattack whenever an opponent targets you. So this damage is tripled and converted to energy damage. All right, so we are going to use Whirling Blades. You make 2 attacks, each dealing dual scimitar rank plus half Whirling Blades rank. So that is 16 plus the 7, so that's 23. So we're going to gain 2 attacks. Now at rank 6, you may make a 3rd attack if you are not targeted this round. Okay. Our Artificer is going to use an Enhancifier. An Enhancifier can be used to boost one stat of their choice by the number of gear upgrades that stat has for the remainder of the turn. A hero may only be affected by 1 Enhancifier at a time. So our Artificer is going to use an Enhancifier on the Dervish to double the number of gear upgrades that this particular hero has in both attack and explore. So that attack rank is going to be 21 plus 7 is 28 damage instead of 23 damage in each attack. All right, our merchant is going to just do a standard attack of 19 damage. And then we have Astanal and the giant. Astanal is going to roll. He rolls a 5, and he's doing a group heal. Health or energy. So I think he's going to heal everyone's energy. Well, he'll heal everyone's health, because I'm sure we will take some damage this round. Philo the giant is going to roll, and we get a 3. So that is going to be dual target unyielding health, so he has 2 attacks of 5 damage coming in. All right, so let's see what the genie does to us. We roll a 5. Triple target unyielding health. Each target reduces the damage they deal this round by 6. So I'm going to roll target dice here, and we're just going to go right down the row here. So green, yellow, blue. So 3, 6, 3, 9. And then we're also going to roll for our legendary guys here. 5 and 6. Okay, and then so that's the first attack is going to be our Artificer with a 9. Then we have the next attack, and that is the Merchant and the Artificer have to roll off. Merchant, and last but not least, look at that, we have a attack coming into the Dervish here. And Astanal rolls also a 9. Astanal gets a Hex, and our Dervish gets a 5. Okay, so that means all 3 of our heroes are taking an attack from the genie. So that means all 3 are going to be suffering 7 health damage, and all 3 are having their attacks reduced by 6. The nice thing is that the Dervish has been targeted, and the Lunar Blade's counter attack triggers. That means this damage that she is dealing is tripled and converted to energy damage. So she is doing 16 plus the Artificer's plus Enhanced Fire, so that's 23 damage, times 3, right? So it 23, 46, 69, minus the 6. So that is going to completely suck the energy out of the genie, which means she does not, the genie does not get his undying effect. And we've done enough damage with the dervish's attacks coming in at 22 each, 2 attacks. It's plenty. We have defeated the genie, lickety-split, and so that is awesome. We get Otherworldly's rank finally goes up. We have rank 1 in that now, which is going to reduce the energy drain that our Artificer is receiving. All right, so we've just defeated the genie. We get 5 platinum and 2 power-ups each. Guys, we are now at 69 platinum. If we take even one of our genie's wishes, and we convert the wish into 300 gold, we could take that gold and gain platinum from it, and we would have 99 platinum, enough, just barely enough to win the game. All right, so let's take a look. We gain 2 power-ups each. All abilities and a +1 to attack. We have a defend and attack +3. And we have a second mastery and an explore +2. All right, so let's take a look. We have +2. We have +1. And we have received all abilities on Hamanu. He has 2 mutations that give him a +1 to his abilities. One is the defend, and the other is the first mastery. So he's actually going to gain 2 ranks in defend and 2 ranks in first mastery, and then finally 1 rank in his second mastery. All right, so we have just finished the circumstance phase. Let's flip over another circumstance. Ceaseless heat wave. Okay. And the Ravager dives back underground. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to make use of the Artificer's wings. We've moved cautiously this turn. In fact, I was premature here. Let's keep the Ravager back on the board. We're not done with our turn yet. Our Artificer is going to move us 2 more, and we're going to end on a Ravager node here, a crystal tower. All right, so let's see how this works. We are going to try and avoid gaining a mutation. You're going to roll a stat test against your food rating. The result is less than or equal to twice the initial food rating value to twice less than or equal to. Then you can choose not to gain the mutation. All right, so our merchant had a food rating of 4, so if it's an 8 or less, he can choose not to gain one. Merchant will not gain a mutation. The dervish, 5 or less, so that's a 10 or less on the die. 8, he does not gain a mutation. She. And then our artificer is a food rating of 2, so this would need to be a 4 or less, and that is a hex. So all 3 of us avoid gaining a mutation this turn, and we get some. We take some damage because of the energy drain. 0, 0, and 3, so 2 plus that is down to 7 energy. And then we are not in the wastes. We do not get a power-up for this. but we do get to roll the d4 for Ravager crystals. We get 2 plus 1 from the extraction tools. We're now up to 18 Ravager crystals. And I think I'm going to update our heroes for you. Okay, moving along. Now that is the end of our game turn. We're going to have the Ravager dive back underneath the ground. We're going to take our Remnant and turn it over. That means we have now completed that Remnant. And that is a lava field. Lava field. We are currently on a lava field. Lava fields cause damage to the heroes. The group suffers 3 energy drain and gains heat exhaustion each time they enter a lava field. Consuming food in a lava field does not remove heat exhaustion. All right, so we're each going to take some some energy drain here. So we would need to eat some food in order to get rid of this heat exhaustion. But let's take that damage now. And actually, we took a little bit of a beating from that genie. We have some pretty low vitals at the moment, comparatively. 13, 13, and 12 health. Okay, so the next thing that happens is we are going to move through the desert here. So it's a new game turn. We're going to get some extra gold. I think what we're going to do is we are going to head to Ferrora, and we are going to turn in some of the knowledge that we have accumulated over this game. So let's go ahead and use the genie to teleport us on the map. So genie, our first wish, we are going to teleport to the city of Ferrora. Now, if you'll notice on the Ferrora placard, under the knowledge area here, share your experiences with the scholars of Ferrora. Librarian Ree rewards those who share their knowledge. Turn in your experiences up to once per game turn. This does not take an action. Each hero gains the power-up reward shown. Experiences are carried into subsequent tiers, and you may only gain each reward once. Now, we've defeated 3 bosses in this game. We've done 1 caravan journey. We've completely filled up our discoveries, encounters, and our nature and mutations. Our missions we've done 4. So if you'll notice, I'll put it up on the screen here, but we've maxed out 3 of the 5 tiers. Which means we're going to get at least the 3rd level of experiences here, which is, if we do this for 3 game turns, that's going to be 6 power-ups right there. So we will go ahead and turn in that knowledge, and each of us will gain a power-up. Favorite opponent, +1 die for Hamanu. We have a defend +1 for the dervish, and we have a food rating +1 or -1 for our artificer. We already have the +1 die here, so we get to roll. This is the 2nd time Hamanu is gaining an extra die. So he's going to be, and whenever he rolls favorite opponent, he's going to roll a d6 and 2 d4s. Okay. Oh, and that one is a stash card, so why don't I roll that? If it's a hex, we're going to get an extra. It is not. Okay. Next thing that happens, let's create another enhanced fire. Our artificer is gonna do that here. And the next thing too is we're going to stay at the inn. So a warm bath and a comfortable stay. All heroes heal all lost vitals and negate all conditions. And we also have to eat our food, make sure that we get rid of our heat exhaustion. So we are pretty low on food currently. I think that's all we're going to do. We don't have to worry about the danger in Ferrora. Our reputation is currently in rebellious, but it is not corrupt or cruel, so we don't have to worry about that. The next thing that happens is, let's just do our employ, our orderly. So we're going to have 8 gold for the artificer, and we're going to get 2 gold for each of our other 2 here. Not that gold is really something that we need at the moment, but we're helping the sick, so that's pretty good. All right. The next thing that happens is the Ravager is going to appear. And we are going to roll a d6. And we roll a 2. That means the Ravager has appeared right outside of Ferrora. That is going to trigger our Ruination Curse. Each hero must roll Navigate, so those who fail, let's see here. Navigate. Made it. Made it. Missed it. So we are taking 2 health damage. We just filled up, so the Artificer is back down to 18. All right. Now, it is our turn again. We are going to turn in that next level of knowledge. So that is going to be 3 experiences of 2 types. We are each going to get 2 more power-up cards. All right. Oh my gosh, you guys. All right. So the favorite opponent, for the Artificer, we just received another favorite opponent card for the Artificer. So our Artificer, if you'll remember in the last few videos, he has accumulated a ton of favorite opponent abilities here. So that's going to be fun when we fight the Ravager. All right, so let's we'll get these put together here. I'm going to roll for my 2 stash cards, and I'll roll for that first mastery as well. Okay guys, we have delayed the inevitable for far too long. We are going to face the Ravager in combat. Now, at the end of this turn, we have just gone through and done the knowledge event. We can purchase some gear upgrades. I think we're going to do the schooling and sparring. And check this out. In Ferrora, you have skills available. You have the masteries available. So I'm going to spend all the gold I have to increase our gear upgrades as much as possible. It's going to be awesome. All right, guys, check it out. I actually was not able to increase everything. I have 1 gold remaining, and but check it out. Our Dervish and our Artificer is hugely powered up here. This is awesome. Sadly, we don't have health or energy upgrades available in this city-state. But that's okay. This is pretty awesome. So check it out. Here's our new heroes. This will be awesome for our last round of the game. Okay, so before the end of our turn, we are going to use our second wish, and we are going to have the genie teleport us to the Ravager. We are going to initiate combat with the Ravager this turn. Now, before I do, I'm going to increase the difficulty to Epic. We're going to fight the Ravager on Epic. It's basically going to be doing much more damage to us, and it's going to gain 10 Outlast for its swarm. So this will be interesting. We're gonna see what happens here. All I'm going to mark that on my battle mat, and I'm going to get prepared for our final battle with the Ravager. Now, a couple things to remember. We have the gift of the Phoenix on our Dervish, so if she dies, she will come back to life, resurrected by her ashes. We have two helpers in the party, Philo the Giant and Astenal, the last Arbiter. Our Merchant has scales, so he's blocking every turn. Our Artificer will be taking extra energy drain, a little extra energy drain every turn. But the one thing I'm really excited about is that we've been layering on our favorite opponent power-ups in this game. Our Artificer can roll a d6 and two d4s, and he got the stash bonus twice on his favorite opponent cards. That means he's doing double and another double after that the amount of favorite opponent damage. That is just incredible. Okay. And that doesn't do anything to outlast, it just is the health and the energy damage that's being doubled. Okay, what else? Our Dervish is wielding the Lunar Blade. So that is going to allow her to counterattack whenever the opponent targets her, and it's going to be doing energy damage back to its target. The Artificer, if you'll notice, is completely maxed out on his enhancifiers. That means that he is going to be able, when he uses an enhancifier, that means that all of the heroes in the game that are in this combat are gaining a plus double the power-ups they have on each of 5 stats. So, for instance, our Dervish. Check it out. Our Dervish has 5 stats that are maxed. Each of those stats are going to get an extra 5 ranks when we use that enhancifier. So that's awesome. What else? Our Merchant has 24 attack, you guys. Our Lion, our Pridekin Hamanu is 24 basic attack, which is just incredible. We're going to save our last wish, and I figure our last wish after we defeat the Ravager will be to gain the Platinum, and we will have 99 Platinum using our last wish. So this has been pretty cool. Let's get started in that final battle. Okay, I think we're ready. So this is our end battle with the Ravager. Check out its vitals. We have 6 vitals on the Ravager. We have 3 health vitals, 2 energy vitals, and 1 outlast vital. Now, if we look at what those numbers are, the Ravager has his attack rank at 210 health, his defend rank at 160 health, his Desiccating Inferno is 160 health, and then we have his Godly Presence, 210 energy, and his Radioactive Aura is 110 energy. His Outlast is phenomenal. His Outlast is 37 based on the number of heroes in the group and the game difficulty. So this is definitely going to be a difficult fight for us to save the Ravager. And I think this aligns well with our rebellious nature. We just want to kill the Ravager in this game. There are items that we could have purchased that would have helped with that Outlast score. So we could have reduced that a little bit further if we wanted to. So without further ado, let's get this going. So our Merchant, to start the round, we are going to have him do his favorite opponent damage. Now his favorite opponent damage is a d6 and 2 d4s because he does has creature for favorite opponent, and he's gotten a couple of the favorite opponent power-up cards. So let's roll that. We're going to re-roll a result of a hex. And we have 2, 4, 6. That is 6 damage. So let's go ahead and just use that against his Radioactive Aura. All right, our dervish is also has let's see, creature. We do not have. We do have horde though, and we do have swarm. So the dervish can use the favorite opponent swarm to reduce that outlast by 1, just right off the bat. Okay, then we have our Artificer Balaketh. Now, if you'll remember, our Artificer had a couple of favorite opponent stash bonus cards that doubles the amount of favorite opponent damage he does. And he also gained 2 of the D4 favorite opponent cards. So we get to roll all 3 of these dice. And we have 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So that's doubled. So that's 18. And that's doubled. So 18 and 18 is, what is that, 36? So it's 36 damage. So we'll put that right here. 42 damage incoming to the Ravager. And that is energy damage that we decided to go with. Okay, that concludes our favorite opponent damage. The next thing we're going to do is, let's see, we did not feed Philo the Giant 6 food. I could have done that. I didn't. That's okay. I think we're going to be okay even regardless here. But so the first thing we're going to do is we'll go right down the line. Our Dervish. Our Dervish is going to begin her battle dance. So she's going to spend 1 energy, and she is now in her battle dance. You begin a dance that hastens your movements, making you unpredictable. While in your battle dance, gain a -1 bonus to your target die, and each of your skill rolls for every 3 ranks of battle dance. Her battle dance is 26 rank. So that's going to give her a -8. This mastery may be sustained, so that means she can spend energy every round to continue this without actually taking an action. At rank 5, you may use dual scimitar or rhythmic movements this round, so we'll just use our dual scimitar for 19 damage, and we'll go against the impenetrable plating. Okay. The Artificer is going to use an enhancifier this round, and that is going to mean that let's see, that 1 hero, once per turn outside of combat, you may spend 1 gold to create a enhancifier and give it to any hero. A hero may activate 1 at any time to boost 1 stat of their choice by the number of gear up. So this, you don't even need to use a action to activate it. You can activate it at any time. So let's just say the Dervish uses an enhancifier. A hero may only be affected by 1 enhancifier at a time. The enhancifier is destroyed at the end of a turn on which it is used. At rank 3 and every 3 after, heroes may choose 1 additional stat when they activate the enhancifier. Now, the enhancifier lasts the entire turn. We would have activated it before combat began even to gain that bonus. So we could have been using that those items more during the game to give us higher ranks still. Now the power beacon then. So if our Artificer isn't going to be using that, we're going to use a power beacon instead. So when a hero uses a power beacon in combat, it can be targeted by individual target attacks. It cannot be healed, and heals the group's health equal to power beacon rank during the resolution phase each round. Beacons are created with twice salvage plating rank health, so that is 12 health, and are destroyed at the end of combat. Only 1 power beacon may be activated at a time. So it heals all of our heroes' health, all of our allies' health too, by 16 every turn. Now, it's only going to have 12 health, so it's really only going to last 1 turn against the strength of our Ravager here. But we'll have a power beacon healing us. Okay, so that is going to be it for the Artificer. Now, the Dervish, if she had the enhancifier, she is going to gain a +5 rank to both attack and to her battle dance. So that -8 to skills is actually going to be -9. So she gets a -9 to her target dice and to her skill bonuses. She's also going to gain 6 extra damage. So let's put that down here. for 25 damage. Okay, Hamanu will also be doing 24 damage this turn. So he will do that against the block, the impenetrable plating. We're going to take the plating down as quickly as we can. That will be important. Because until it's down completely, the Ravager will be blocking the damage that we do every turn. The Takreen, I didn't mention this, but we are activating the power of the moon. The lunar blade is going to become active, so she is going to take a little bit of energy from that. Okay, and then Philo the Giant. Let's see what he does. We're going to roll a d6 and we get a hex. Group piercing health. If Philo suffers energy damage this round, it becomes energy drain. So he's doing a group piercing health of 7. We didn't feed him food, that's okay. So a group damage, it's still just one creature, right? It has multiple values, but it's not doing like a group attack against this one creature. So we have to choose where we're putting that 7 damage, and that's going to go toward the impenetrable plating as well. Okay, and then Astanal, see what he does. He gains a 2 group health. You may spend CP to increase this damage by 1 per point spent. So he's going to spend all of his CP, his cohort points. He has 10 cohort points. Now we could have spent our time in the Black Pyramid gathering his cohort points up a little bit. We're basically having him throw his army at the Ravager. Now that's going to increase the damage that he's dealing by 10, so he's doing 13 damage. All right, and then we are going to have the Ravager do its thing. We are first going to start with his Cosmic Strength, Group Health, and Navigate. So all of our heroes who can roll Navigate must roll it. Merchant makes it. The Dervish makes it, and our Artificer misses it. Okay, those who succeed suffer half as much. We're looking at 10 health damage. Strengthen this damage by 2 for each other ability at 0 vitals. A literal mountain of muscle. Its movements cause destruction and a hail of debris all around it. So we're looking at taking 10 damage each for the folks who can't make the Navigate roll. Now Philo can make that roll. His roll would be a 2 or lower. He gets a 3. He does not make it. So Astanal and Philo are going to be taking 10 damage, leaving Philo with 13 health left and Astanal with 30. All right, so that is going to be the attack. Our Artificer failed as well, so he goes down to 12 health. Okay, and those who manage to make it actually are going to take half as much, so 5 health damage. We have 13 for our merchants, and our Dervish is down, so 14. Okay. Impenetrable Plating, Block 40, and Group Explore. Those who fail cannot deal piercing damage this round. Convert all piercing damage to normal damage. This block amount applies to any of the Ravager's vitals beginning with energy. Now, the energy damage that we did this round was favored opponent damage, and that can't be reduced. So, in fact, the Impenetrable Plating will be reducing the amount of damage that we dealt this round. And let's see, let's add that up here. So 20, 44, 54, 64, 69 damage minus 40 is 19. So we're going to have 19 incoming damage after this block. Okay. That's it for Impenetrable Plating. Now the Desiccating Inferno hits us. Group health, energy, and survival. Each target suffers 4 health and 4 energy damage. It's actually going to be 8 health and 8 energy damage. Those who fail become burned and gain heat exhaustion. Oh my. Alright, so we have a 7 is a make it, Dervish. 5, make it. And our Artificer 2, made it. We need to roll for Philo. He can roll skills. And we get a 3, he misses it. Boy, that if we would have fed him 6 food today, Philo would have felt a little better. I feel like we just didn't want to share. How rude of us. Okay, so strengthen this damage by 3 for every ability at 0. Nothing is at 0 yet. So group health, energy, and survival. Each target suffers 4 health and energy. Those who fail become burned and gain heat exhaustion. Okay, so Philo is down to 5 health and 0 energy, and Asenal is down to 22 health and 22 energy. And our power beacon is going to be suffering enough damage to destroy it as well. The Inferno has completely burned through it. Now we will still get that heal, so at least we'll have that. Now we have the Godly Presence as the energy ability. Each hero rolls a stat test and applies the result against each of their abilities. So we are going to roll a stat test. Just 1, and we're going to apply it to each of our abilities. For each failed test, suffer 2 piercing health damage. So look at this. We really are going to automatically succeed unless we roll a 10. Did you guys see that? That is a 10. I just rolled a 10. So our merchant has rolled a 10. He's been pretty amazing this entire time, right? Hamanu has been kind of the de facto leader of our group. He is going to be suffering 6 piercing health damage 4 times, guys. He is going to die. Hamanu has died. Oh, so he goes down to 0 health. He does have block, but it's piercing. He can't block against piercing. Targets who critically fail this stat test become blinded and vulnerable as well. Heroes suffer a +1 penalty for every other ability at 0. Oh, that was terrible. That was terrible. Okay. Then we have the rest of the group. We're going to roll for the Dervish. Gosh, I hope we don't get another 10. 9. We made it with a 9. So that's good. So we aren't going to take any damage for the Dervish in this ability. And then the Artificer, let's see what she gets. And he gets a 2. Thankfully, he makes that as well. Okay. Now we are going to roll for Philo. All of his abilities are rank 4. He rolls a 5. This is going to squash our giant. Philo and the Pridekin have both died this turn. Boy, that's harsh. So he goes down to 0. Thankfully, we still get this. This heal coming in from the Artificer. Okay, what else? We have a radioactive aura that now is going to hit us. So first of all, let's go ahead and bring our health back up from the heal. Right, we've gone down on a couple of our heroes have been reduced already, so we're getting a heal of 16, bringing the merchant back up to a healthy number. And Philo the Giant as well is back up to 16 health. Okay, now we have radioactive aura kicking in. Each target becomes irradiated, 1 for every 10 energy that this has. Now we've done 42 damage to this automatically, so let's take a look at that. We have 68 left on this particular radioactive aura. So 1 for every 10 energy this ability has, so that's 6 energy radiated, 6 energy drain. Now our merchant has a food rating of 5, so he's only going to take 1. Strengthen this damage by 1 for every other ability at 0. Oh, but we have the +4 because of the difficulty, so in fact it will be 5 damage. He goes down to 11. And Philo is also, his food rating is 6. So he's going to take 4. Oh, and this is energy drain. So he actually doesn't, Hamanu doesn't go down to from 16. He actually just takes 4 energy drain. 5. He goes down to 10 energy. Okay. Our dervish has a food rating of 6. So she is only going to take 4 energy drain. And she's down to 12. And then our artificer is going to take, let's see, food rating of 4. So he is going to take 2 plus 4 is 6. And he is down to 11 energy remaining. Okay. Last but not least, our mutated parasites. Treat this ability as a swarm on any round in which a hero chooses not to target the swarm or fails their skill roll against the swarm. All heroes lose 2 ranks in 1 stat of their choice permanently. So I'm going to say each of our heroes are going to lose 2 ranks. We're going to go down. The Artificer is going to lose 2 in Explore. The Dervish will go down 2 in Survival. And the Merchant will go down 2 in Survival. Okay, that was a tough round. And the Outlast will take another little bit off. So let's go ahead and do the damage here. Oh, we have the Living Rope, so that will also take a little bit down on the Outlast. Okay, and at the end of that turn, we will have 210, 141, 160, 210, 68, and 34 left to go. Now, the next thing that we're going to do is, I think we're going to take out that impenetrable plating once and for all. We're going to do some massive damage this turn. Our Dervish still is basically gaining the bonuses for having the Enhance the Fire. So why don't we do our favorite opponent damage first. The Lunar Blade is still actually going. So once per game turn for 3 energy, you may activate the Power of the Moon. While your energy is 3 or higher, it was this turn. You may counterattack whenever an opponent targets you. Now she was actually targeted several times last round. Group attack, group attack, group attack, group attack. So she was targeted 4 times. So she is going to be able to counterattack. The damage is tripled and converted to energy damage. So she counterattacks for 25. Tripled is 75. 4 times energy damage. So at the end of that round, so that's going to leave the Ravager at 0 energy for both of its 2 energy abilities. So that means it can't use either of those. We're down to 0 and 0 here. That's pretty awesome. Lunar Blade, in the first round of combat, because the Dervish had such high dual scimitar, we did a huge amount of energy damage. The Merchant is up next. Let's go with 24 damage to impenetrable plating. Let's go with the Dervish's Whirling Blades and make 2 attacks at 29 plus 6 is 35 each. So 35 each. 35, 35. And then our Artificer will do, let's do Shatter for 16. And let's go ahead and do one. We're going to do our favorite opponent stuff. So the dervish is going to roll favorite opponent's dice against the creature. Actually against swarm. So that would just give us a -1 there. The merchant gets to roll. Let's go ahead and do that against impenetrable plating. That was 4 plus 8. Then we have our artificer is going to do 5, 6 plus a hex is 10, 13. Doubled is 26. Doubled is 52. 52 damage. Piercing. Favorite opponent damage. Oh, and we didn't heal these two last round from the enhancifier. I'm sorry, the power beacon. The power beacon died last turn, but it still healed the rest of the group. I only had it heal the merchant and the giant, but it should have healed the rest of us as well. So that means we're up to 20 health for the artificer. Full health for the dervish. Okay. And that is it for favorite opponent. Let's go ahead and roll for Philo. He does dual target unyielding health, and he's going to do 5 damage with each attack. So let's go ahead and attack the cosmic strength with each of those. Astanal rolls a 3. Group heal, health or energy. So he's going to heal everyone for 3 health or energy. So that will be good. And I will have the artificer this turn use another power beacon. So that will also be another 16 heal coming in. All right, so I think we've done everything that we could do. Instead of the artificer using a shatter ability for a 16 health, he's going to use a power beacon to heal. I think that's going to be more important than doing the damage currently, because we are looking like we're going to probably die against the Ravager. He's just terribly powerful. Okay, so let's go ahead and check this out. Cosmic Strength, group health and navigate. So this is a group attack. 4, we make it. 8, we make it. And strengthen this damage by 2 for every ability at 0 vitals. So 12, 13, 14. This is 14 damage coming in for anyone who fails it. We make it for the artificer. And Philo makes it with a 2. All right. So he suffers half as much. So he's going to take 7. And Astanal does not have a skill, so he's going to take all of it. Okay, then we have impenetrable plating, block 40. We don't have any energy damage coming in, so that will take one of our 35s away completely and reduce the other 35 to a 30. Okay. Then we have the Explorer roll. That's not going to matter. None of us are doing piercing damage, so we don't need to roll that. The Desiccating Inferno is next. Group health, energy, and survival. Each target suffers 4 health and 4 energy damage. Strengthen this damage by 3. So 4 plus the 4 is 8. Plus 3 is 11 health and 11 energy damage coming in. Oh my gosh. Okay, 11 health and energy. 4. He makes it. Now he also has block, so he's going to be blocking both attacks by 6. He only takes 5 each. Our merchant is down to 11 health and 5 energy. Next up is our dervish, and she makes it. She is going to take anytime you gain defend equal to half rhythmic movement rank during that round. So she also is defending for 6. our dervish is left with 8 health and 3 energy. Okay, our artificer is going to be next here, and we are rolling a survival. Make it. Now she does not have any defend going on here, so she is going to suffer all of that. She goes down to 6 health and 0 energy. So this is getting pretty scary here, fighting the Ravager. Okay, so we skip the next two. Well, we have to do this for the other two. Desiccating Inferno. They don't have. Let's see. Philo has survival. He makes it with a 2. Philo hanging on, but not for long. He takes the damage. He just does not get burned or heat exhaustion. So he is dead. Philo has been reduced to 0. Then we will have the power beacon go off and heal. Astanal is also taking the damage. Astanal is dead. He has succumbed to his wounds. So our heal goes off. Astanal's heals first for 3. Okay, and then we get the power beacon goes off, and that heals us for 16. Everyone for 16. Our artificer is back up to full. Our dervish is back up to full, and our merchant is back up to full. Looks like we have Philo back up to 19 health, and Astanal back up to 19 health. We just lucked out. But that was our last enhanced fire. I didn't make any more, as you can see in my sheet here. So I am going to have to shift gears and start using some iron scale potions, guys. Okay. The next thing that happens is the mutated parasites. The godly presence and radioactive aura. We've taken that down completely already, right? So mutated parasites, on any round in which a hero chooses not to target the swarm or fails their skill roll against the swarm, all heroes lose 2 ranks in 1 stat of their choice permanently. So I'm going to go with 2 ranks from Explorer for the Merchant, 2 ranks in Survival for the Dervish, 2 ranks in Explore for the Artificer. And then we get to tally the damage that was dealt. Okay, at the end of that round, the Ravager is left with 200 health in his Cosmic Strength ability, 27 health in his Impenetrable Plating, and 160 health left in Desiccating Inferno. His Outlast is still 31, but his energy has been reduced to 0 on both of his other abilities. Now, next thing that we're going to do is, let's do some favorite opponent damage. Valaketh, let's roll for him first. So we have 27 damage left on his Impenetrable Plating. I'm hoping we can do enough favorite opponent damage to take that Impenetrable Plating down to 0. That's, oh my gosh, 2 hexes and a 4. That's already 12. 13, 14 plus another 4 is 18. 19. Boy, we don't want to waste it on that 27. 19 times 2 is 38. Times 2 is 76 damage. Let's do that on Desiccating Inferno. That's gonna be too good to pass up. 76 damage, favorite opponent damage. My God. The Dervish is going to do favorite opponent on the Swarm. We have our rope, living rope. We have the Merchant is going to, he is also favorite opponent. So maybe the Merchant can do some damage here. 3, 6, 7 damage. Not too bad. Let's add that to the 160. Okay, the merchant is going to he's going to defend and use a king's elixir on one target. See, he is going to go down to 3. That's what we're going to do this round for him. The artificer is going to defend and use a iron scale potion. What does that do? Heal 6 health or raise 6 energy. So we will use that. 6 health or 6 energy. Okay. And our dervish will use whirling blades. Now she only has 2 energy left. One will be against... Actually, I'm going to do both against the impenetrable plating because one of those is going to be negated by the block from the Ravager. All right, so we've done favorite opponents. We've done our actions. Let's do the actions of our escorts. We have 4 for Philo. Single target. Oh, he doesn't have any energy left. He is doing an attack instead. Dual target unyielding health. So he's doing 5 and 5. So he'll do 5 and 5. And then Astenal, what is he doing? He rolls a 2 group health, and he is doing 3 damage. So that's there. All right, it's time for the Ravager to kick our butts. So first of all, we're doing the Cosmic Strength. We are gaining a +2 negative to our roll here. 5 made it. Dervish made it with a hex. And the Artificer makes it with a 5. Okay, let's see. Philo's going to need to roll a hex. He does not make that. All right, so Philo is going to be suffering some damage. Now, this has group health and navigate, 6 health damage, so +2 for each of these. So 6 + 4 is 10, +4 is 14. 14 damage each. We made it, so he takes 7. He's actually blocking, though, this turn, so he doesn't take any of that. He blocks. The Dervish, she spent energy, so she gains the defend against the this damage, so she doesn't take anything. Our Artificer also defended, but his defend is only a 6. So 14 minus 6, he's taking 8 damage. Going down to 7 health left for our Artificer. Okay, the other 2, they failed it, both of them failed it. So they're taking 14 damage. Leaving both of our escorts with 5 health remaining. Okay, then we have the impenetrable plating, which is going to reduce the block is going to kick in and reduce our damage down to 36 damage coming in from the Dervish. So that is good because we're going to be we're going to take out the Ravager's impenetrable plating this round. All right, the next thing that happens is Desiccating Inferno. This is the one that hurts us the most. Group health, energy, and survival. Each target suffers 4 health and 4 energy damage, plus the 4 from the difficulty is 8 health and 8 energy, plus 3 for each other ability. So that's 3 and 3 is... So that's 14 damage each. Those who fail become burned and gain heat exhaustion. So we made it. We made it just barely. And we made it. Philo is likely not going to make it. He actually did make it. So it's not going to matter too much to Philo. He is going to die this turn. So Philo is dead. We do have a couple of potions going off, but I think I want to use them to get back our energy from our heroes because our heroes are down to 0 energy almost. So, sorry Philo, you have been destroyed by the Ravager. Okay, and then we have the Astenal, and he also is going to die from the Ravager. So he has, his army has fallen. I just see us outside of the city-state of Ferrora battling this gigantic, fearsome Ravager of Shurax, and it's just our 3 heroes who are now remaining. Now, we do have 1 wish left from our genie, and they can be, our wishes can be used at any time. Should we need it, we could choose to have the genie heal our group. If we all die, we can use that last wish, but then we're also fighting the genie along with the Ravager in combat, and that could also be a bad thing. Alright, so it's time for us to do the last ability the Ravager has, and that is his Swarm ability. So we're each losing 2 ranks in a stat of our choice. Merchant goes down to 11 Explore. Dervish goes down to 7 Explore. And the Artificer goes down to 13 Explore. Alright, we get to compile our damage dealt to the Ravager. And there we have it, you guys. We are currently down to 200 health on Cosmic Strength. We've taken out 3 of the Ravager's abilities now. And he has 64 health. If we can get that 264 down to 0, he is a goner. Our Outlast is still the highest hitting thing that so far it's taken 6 ranks. We've lost 6 ranks because we haven't really been focusing on it at all. Okay. Okay, and then we have the King's Elixir that we've used. So let's see, the King's Elixir is going to heal 4 health and 2 energy each time you suffer health damage. So the Artificer suffered health damage once, so twice actually, twice. So he is going to gain 8 and 4. And the Artificer used a Iron Scale Potion on the Dervish, which is going to give 6 health or 6 energy. Let's go with energy. So the Dervish goes up to 8 energy remaining. And then we have another round of combat with the Ravager. The Artificer is going to roll favorite opponents. 5 and 5 is 10. 10 doubled is 20. 20 doubled is 40. We have 40 damage coming in automatically. We're going to place that on the Desiccating Inferno. The Dervish, once again, we have the Dervish's ability reducing Outlast. The Merchant, and that's a little better. 6 plus 4 is 10, and 2 is 12. All right, and then I think what we're going to do is we're just going to go all out and attack this guy this round. No more healing. We are just going to throw Fate to the Wind, and the Artificer is going to do 16 damage. Let's see here. 16 damage. We're going to place that on the Desiccating Inferno. Then our Dervish is going to use her ability here, Whirling Blades, to deal another 38 damage twice. Then we have the Merchant doing 24 damage. And then we have the Ravager hitting us. So, Cosmic Strength, Energy, Navigate, made it. Actually, we lost it with an 8 because of the curse cards in play. That's going to make that 8 a 10. So the merchant has lost. The dervish makes it with a roll of a 6. And the artificer makes it with a roll of a 5. All right, now let's figure this out. Strengthen this damage by 2 for every ability at 0 vitals. So 6 plus 4 is 10, plus 6 is 16 health damage. So our merchant is going to go down to 2 health remaining. Oh, he has block. 8 health remaining. Now, Krita, she spent energy. So she does gain her defend at rank 6. So she is going to take 10 damage. Okay. Then we have the artificer. He made it, so he is going to take... He doesn't have any kind of defend going on, so he is going to take all of that. And he is left with 4 health remaining. Then we have the second ability, Desiccating Inferno. Each target suffers 4 health and 4 energy damage. Strengthen this damage by 3. Oh my gosh. Oh, this is terrible. Become burned and gain heat exhaustion. Made it. Made it. Made it. Okay. Our Takreen is going to use our Idriel's Bone Torque to turn her into a swarm. Idriel's Transmutation. Once per game turn, the wielder may spend 6 energy to turn themselves into a swarm of bugs and rodents, negate all damage and conditions dealt to you this round. So she is actually going to do that, and she should get her 6 energy back. So our Takreen has turned into a swarm of locusts, not taking any of that damage. The merchant, however, is going to die. He has no defense against this. I mean, he is reducing by 6, but that doesn't matter. It's 4 plus another 9, 13, 17 damage. Even blocking for 6 is going to be enough to kill him. So our merchant has died. Hamanu the merchant has died. Okay. The artificer also is going to die this round. He has only 4 health remaining, and it is enough to take our artificer out. So in one fell swoop, the Ravager has destroyed our merchant and our artificer in the same round of combat. Okay. So we don't get our artificer's favorite opponent next round. That's going to be brutal. Let's deal the damage here. All right, you guys. We have taken the Ravager down to only 1 of his abilities remaining here. And he is down to 100 health left on that ability. Now, one more thing to note is that the swarm has done some damage to our heroes. Now, we would have actually taken a couple of extra ability rank losses. So, in fact, we would have taken 1, 2, 3. We would have lost another 3 ranks each last turn. So, I'm going to reduce our ranks accordingly. Our Dervish's Explorer ability has just been reduced to a 3. So I feel like our Dervish is going blind fighting this Ravager. Okay. So then, before we tallied up the damage, we do have that round worth of rank loss for the mutated parasites one more time. And now this time, it's again at rank 3. Okay, so at the end of that round, you guys, you got to check out where we're at. So we've lost almost everyone in the group. The only person surviving is our dervish. She's already used her ability to turn herself into a swarm of locusts, so she can't use that again. She has the lunar blade, but it's not necessarily helping anymore. She drained the Ravager of all of the energy in one turn using this blade. Her only hope now is to destroy the Ravager before it destroys her. The poultice is going to heal her next round if she uses it. So I think what I need to do is I just need to do the attack again. So we're going to be doing 38 damage and 38 damage using her whirling blades. She goes down to 6 energy remaining. This is going to leave her open to attack as well. So we have Cosmic Strength hitting her with everything. She rolls a 2. She manages to basically get through this. She's going to suffer 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, minus 6 is 12 damage this turn. She is down to 4 health remaining. 4 health remaining. And then she's also going to now drop 4 ranks. 4 ranks. She's going to go down, let's see, let's take her survival down to a 7. Okay, and then we have the damage. Let's see. 22 Outlast remaining. And 24 health remaining on the Ravager. One more turn. And this turn, she's going to die. We're going to use Whirling Blades one more time for 5 health. She's going to do 38 damage and 38 damage. She's going to destroy the Ravager this turn. She's also going to die. So she is going to take, is the same thing that happens last round. If she makes her roll here. She makes her roll. So she goes down to 0 health. She bursts into flame, and the gift of the Phoenix rises her from the ashes. Our hero revives with 4 health and 4 energy remaining, and the Ravager of Shurax is destroyed. Awesome. So everybody else died. We just defeated the Ravager on the epic game setting here. And that's worth a Valor point right there. So awesome. Thank you guys for watching. This was a great playthrough. I know it was a little bit long. I played 3 heroes. We added as much as we could into this game. I had a blast. And I can't believe it came down to the wire as close as it did. Let's not forget that we still have that genie here. And maybe I'll wait until next round, the next game turn, and I'll have our dervish get that extra 30 platinum. We'll have 99 platinum, and we will have defeated the Ravager. We were only 1 vital away from pulling it down completely to its Outlast. And that could have been done in several different ways, but I didn't invest in some of the items needed to do so. At any rate, I had a great time. Thanks for watching, and I hope you guys have wonderful adventures.